Hello guys, in today's video we are going to learn about two important terms that we use in chemical kinetics. First one is order of a reaction and the second one is molecularity of a chemical reaction. In the previous videos we learned about the reaction rate according to law of mass action and according to rate law. So we concluded that the reaction rate according to law of mass action depends upon the stoichiometric coefficients of the reacting species, whereas the reaction rate according to rate law depends upon the actual coefficients of the reacting species. So keeping that in mind, let us consider a reaction AA plus BB plus CC giving products. So reaction rate according to law of mass action is rate is equal to K, which is rate constant, into concentration of A to the power A, concentration of B to the power B, concentration of C to the power C. And what are these A, B, C on the pass? It is nothing but the stoichiometric coefficients. This is the reaction rate according to law of mass action. Now the reaction rate according to rate law is rate is equal to K, which is again rate constant, into the concentration of A to the power P, concentration of B to the power Q, and concentration of C to the power R. And here this P, Q, R are the actual coefficients. You have to remember one thing, this A, B, C, which are the stoichiometric coefficients, may or may not be equal to P, Q and R, which is in the rate law. Now we can define the term order. Order of a chemical reaction is the sum of the coefficients of the reacting species that are involved in the rate equation for the reaction. So what is the rate equation for this reaction? This is the rate equation. And what are the coefficients written here? P, Q, R. The sum of these coefficients of these reacting species that is involved in this rate equation is called as order. So what is order? Order is equal to P plus Q plus R. See, order is equal to P plus Q plus R, which is nothing but the sum of the coefficients of the reacting species that are actually involved in the rate equation as per the rate law. Now let's see the examples of the reactions of different orders. Depending upon the number of the reacting species involved in the rate equation, the chemical reactions may have different orders. We have first order reactions, second order reactions, third order reactions, and even zero order reactions. Now let's see one by one. The first one is first order reaction. So in a first order reaction, the reaction rate depends upon the concentration of one reacting species. That is, rate is equal to K into concentration of A. Just only one reacting species concentration is involved in the rate equation, and the rate of the reaction depends upon only the concentration of one reacting species. Then such chemical reactions are called as first order reactions. I have written two examples here. NH4NO2 giving N2 plus 2H2O. Rate is equal to K into NH4NO2 concentration. So the rate of the reaction depends only on the concentration of one reacting species. Then we call this reaction as first order reaction. And another example, SO2Cl2 giving you SO2 plus Cl2. Again, rate is equal to rate constant K into concentration of SO2Cl2. And here also the reaction rate depends upon the concentration of one reacting species. So this comes under first order reaction. So now look at this power, you have 1. So order is equal to 1. Same way here, power 1. So order is equal to 1. Just now we have seen what is the order of a reaction. Sum of the coefficients or powers of the reacting species that are involved in the rate equation. So what is the power involved in this rate equation? Just 1. So the order is 1. So again, how can you define order? First order reaction. The reaction rate of the reaction depends upon the concentration of one reacting species. Then we call such reactions as first order reactions. Now coming to second order reactions. The reaction rate depends upon the concentration of two reacting species. When we say two reacting species, the reacting species can be same or different. That means rate is equal to K into A square. So A is the reacting species and the rate depends upon the square of the concentration of A. Then the reaction is second order reaction. See, it can be A into B also. The reacting species need not be same. It can be different. Now here power 1 and again here power 1. 1 plus 1 gives you 2. So now that comes under second order reaction. So if the reaction rate depends upon the concentration of two reacting species, then we call such reactions as second order reactions. Look at this example. 2HI giving you H2 plus I2. Rate is equal to K into concentration of HI power 2. So the order of the reaction is 2. So this is a second order reaction. The next example, CH3COO C2H5 plus NaOH giving you CH3COO Na plus C2H5OH. What is the rate? Rate is equal to K into concentration of CH3COO C2H5 into concentration of NaOH. So power 1, again 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So this is a second order reaction. So far in all the examples, this power is same both for the rate law and also for law of mass action. That's why I told you ABC may or may not be equal to PQR. So in all these examples that we have seen, ABC is equal to PQR only. So both the cases you are getting the same order. When you write the reaction rate in terms of law of mass action, you can directly use this reacting species and use this coefficient in the rate equation. But when you write the reaction rate according to rate law, then you cannot just simply look at this and write. Actually, this is determined experimentally. Then only you can say the order of the reaction. Order is also determined experimentally. Just by looking at the reaction, we cannot say the order. That's the reason we say ABC, small ABC and PQR are different. ABC is as per the reaction. PQR is an experimental data. So we have seen examples for first order and second order reaction. Now we'll see third order reactions. So in a third order reaction, the reaction rate depends upon the concentration of three reacting species. Again, they can be same or different. So rate is equal to K into concentration of A power 3. So what is the order of the reaction? 3, and the rate of the reaction depends upon the concentration of three reacting species. Okay, all the three reacting species are same here. Or you can write rate is equal to K into concentration of A power 1 into concentration of B power 2. Now what is the order of the reaction? 2 plus 1 gives you 3. Or you can write it this way. K concentration of A to the power 2 square of concentration of A into B, and again what is the order? 2 plus 1 gives you 3. So in all the three cases, the order of the reaction is 3. I have written two examples, 2NO2 plus O2 giving you 2NO2. So rate is equal to rate constant into concentration of NO per square per 2 into concentration of O2. So per 1 per 2. So 2 plus 1 gives you 3, and that is the order of the reaction. And look at this example. 2FeCl3 plus SnCl2 gives you 2FeCl2 plus SnCl4. Again, what is the rate? Rate is equal to K into FeCl3 per 2 into concentration of SnCl2. And now add the powers. 2 plus 1 gives you 3. So the order of the reaction is 3. This is a third order reaction. We have zero order reaction also. A zero order reaction implies that the reaction rate is independent of the concentration of the reacting species. So the rate of the reaction does not depend upon the concentration of the reacting species. Then we call such reactions as zero order reactions. These reactions are mostly carried out on the catalyst surface. For example, thermal decomposition of ammonia on the surface of platinum catalyst under high pressure. In this reaction, platinum acts as a catalyst. See, we are decomposing ammonia on the surface of platinum catalyst to give you nitrogen and hydrogen. So, as I told you, in this reaction, platinum acts as a catalyst. Under high pressure, the surface of the metal gets saturated with ammonia molecules. It will become saturated with ammonia molecules. This means that any further change in reaction conditions will not change or alter the amount of ammonia on the surface of the catalyst, because the surface of the catalyst is already saturated. No more ammonia can be fit into that catalyst. Or you can say the reaction rate is independent of the molar concentration of the reactant, or you can say it is a zero order reaction. So put it in simple words, if the rate of the reaction does not depend upon the molar concentration of any of the reacting species, then we call such reactions as zero order reactions. Now see here NH3, how can you write the rate equation? Rate is equal to K into concentration of NH3 per 0. So anything per 0 gives you 1. So rate is equal to K. So what we conclude here, the rate of the reaction does not depend upon the concentration of the reacting species. So you may look at this example, photochemical reaction. This is taking place in the presence of ultraviolet radiations. Now see, H2 plus Cl2 in the presence of H nu gives you 2HCl. So rate is equal to K into concentration of H2 per 0 to concentration of Cl2 per 0. So both will be equal to 1. So rate is equal to K. So the rate of the reaction does not depend upon the molar concentration of any of the reacting species. This H nu is nothing but the light. So we have seen examples for first order, second order, third order, and also zero order reactions. We also have fractional order reactions. You can get 2 by 3 or 2 1 by 2 or 1 1 by 2. We have fractional orders also. So far, all the reaction orders that we have been learning, like first order, second order, third order, we consider these reactions are proceeding in a single step. And the order of the reaction is the sum of the coefficients of the different reacting species. Such reactions which are taking place in just a single step are called as elementary reactions. But certain chemical reactions may also proceed in more than one step. I've told you in the previous video about multi-step reactions. In such cases where the reaction proceeds in multi-step, the order is expressed with respect to the slowest step, which is also called as rate determining step. So when we are writing order of the reaction in terms of slowest step for a chemical reaction, then that reaction is a multi-step reaction, or we can call such reactions as complex reactions. And in the previous video, we have already seen how to write the rate equation for a multi-step reaction. We consider only the slowest step, which is the rate determining step. So how to find the order? Add the pass of the reacting species in that rate equation. That gives you the order of the reaction. You would have seen in all the rate expressions that we have written for all the different order reactions, we have rate constant here. The unit of this rate constant is different for different order reaction. First order reaction has a unit for K, but second order reaction has a different unit. Same way for third and zero order, we have different units for this rate constant. So by looking at the unit of rate constant itself, you can say what order reaction is that. Now I'll show you how to calculate this unit for rate constant for different order reactions. Now let's consider a general reaction, n moles of A giving you products. So how can we write the rate? Rate is equal to rate constant into concentration of A power n. Let's take this n as the order of the reaction. We have already seen the unit of rate and the unit that is used for molar concentration. What is the unit for a rate? Mole liter inverse second inverse. What is the unit of molar concentration? Mole liter inverse. Now, when you take all the units here in this expression, see what is the unit of rate? Mole liter inverse second inverse is equal to K. We don't know, just keep it as such. What is the unit of this concentration of A? Mole liter inverse. So mole liter inverse per N. Now we want the unit of K. So K is equal to mole liter inverse second inverse divided by mole liter inverse per N. Again, what is this N? It is the order of the reaction. So if you want the unit for first order reaction, put N is equal to 1. Now look here, for first order reaction, N is equal to 1. So what will be the unit of K? K is equal to, keep it as such, mole liter inverse second inverse divided by mole liter inverse power 1. So on the numerator you have mole liter inverse. Here also you have mole liter inverse. Here the power is 1. When nothing is there, it is considered to be 1. But for second, it is inverse. Here, mole liter inverse power 1 because it is first order. So how can you write it? Mole liter inverse 1 minus 1. This one whole power 1 minus this one. So second inverse. So this becomes 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Anything but 0 is 1. So the unit of rate constant is second inverse for first order reaction. Same way for second order reaction, N is equal to 2. So you will put 2 here. So mole liter inverse per 1, 1 minus 2. So that gives you minus 1 and the second inverse stays as such. So you will have mole liter inverse 1 minus 2 is minus 1. So if you multiply that minus 1 inside, you will get mole inverse liter minus 1 into minus 1 will give you plus 1. So mole inverse liter second inverse. So that is the unit of K for second order reaction. Same way for third order, you will get mole inverse square, liter square, second inverse. So you have to notice one thing here. Whatever power is there for liter, same thing comes for mole, but you will have the inverse of that. See, mole inverse, liter second inverse, mole inverse square, liter square second inverse, mole in plus 1, liter inverse second inverse. So whatever you have for mole, the opposite sign comes for liter. If it is negative for mole power, then it will be positive for liter. So you can have that as a shortcut or easy way to remember. So if the rate constant unit is just second inverse, then what reaction is that? First order reaction. So sometimes in the question they'll give you the unit of the rate constant is, or they'll give you the value of the rate constant with the unit and they will ask you what is the order of the reaction. So just look at the unit given for K, which is rate constant, and then you can decide on the order of the reaction. This is one of the shortcut methods to find out the order. So if I say the rate constant of a reaction is 1 mole liter inverse second inverse, what is the order of the reaction? Now look here, which reaction has mole liter inverse second inverse as the unit for K? This one. So the given reaction is zero order reaction. Let's see few examples based on this concept of order of the reaction. For a reaction A plus B giving products, the rate law expression is given as a rate is equal to K concentration of A power 1 by 3, concentration of B power 2. First question, what is the order of the reaction? And the next question, what are the units of rate constant? So how to find out the order of the reaction? Sum of the parts. So 1 by 3 plus 2. So order is equal to 1 by 3 plus 2. That gives you 2 1 by 3. So what is the order of this reaction? 2 1 by 3. Next question, what are the units of rate constant? You can directly use this formula. Just now we have seen. See, unit of rate constant is equal to mole liter inverse power 1 minus n second inverse. This is the formula. So instead of n, you have to put the order here. So what is the order? 2 3s are 6, 6 plus 1, 7, 7 by 3. So mole inverse 1 minus 7 by 3 second inverse. So that gives you mole power minus 4 by 3, liter power 4 by 3 second inverse. So that is the unit of rate constant for this particular reaction. Or you can do, you want the unit of K. So K is equal to rate divided by A power 1 by 3, B power 2. See, what is the unit of rate? Mole liter inverse second inverse. What is the unit of concentration? Mole liter inverse per 1 by 3. Same way here, molar concentration. What is the unit? Mole liter inverse per 2. So when you solve this, you will get mole per minus 4 by 3, liter per 4 by 3 second inverse, and that is the unit of K. Next question. Identify the order of a reaction for each of the following rate constants. They have given you the value of rate constants. K is equal to 2.3 into 10 to the power minus 5 liter mole inverse second inverse. So now they are asking you identify the order of the reaction. I told you by looking at the units you can find out the order. So liter mole inverse second inverse unit for K is for second order reaction. So this is a second order reaction. In which reaction K has the unit second inverse first order. So this is a first order reaction. Next one. Rate law for a reaction is expressed as rate is equal to K into Cl2 per 1 and NO per 2. Find out the order of the reaction with respect to Cl2 and with respect to NO, and also the overall order of the reaction. So what is given? Rate is equal to K into concentration of Cl2 per 1, concentration of NO per 2. They are asking you what is the rate of the order of the reaction with respect to Cl2. With respect to Cl2, the order of the reaction is equal to 1 because the power here is 1. So with respect to Cl2, order of the reaction is equal to 1, and with respect to NO, the order of the reaction is 2. And what is the overall order of the reaction? 1 plus 2, that gives you 3. 3 is the overall order. So this is a third order reaction. So that's all about order. So when I started the video, I told you we are going to learn about two terms. One is order of the reaction. The other one is molecularity of a reaction. So next we will see molecularity of the reaction. Before starting with molecularity, remember definition of order of a reaction is valid for both elementary as well as complex reactions. And the order of the reaction is always determined experimentally. So order of a reaction can be valid for both elementary or multi-step reactions. Now coming to molecularity of a reaction. When you say molecularity, according to a theory called collision theory, it says a chemical reaction among the reacting species. The reacting species can be atoms, ions or molecules. A chemical reaction among the reacting species can take place only if they collide with one another. If the reacting species, if they just bombard and collide with one another, then only a reaction can take place. This is what collision theory says. So now the number of reacting species that collide simultaneously, the number of reacting species that collide simultaneously in a chemical reaction is known as molecularity of a reaction. If all the reactants involved in the balanced chemical equation participate in the simultaneous collision, then that reaction is known as elementary reaction. See, this is the balanced chemical reaction. For example, NH4NO2 gas giving you N2 gas plus 2H2O gas. Here the reacting species is NH4NO2. So this reactant is involving in the simultaneous collision. Then we call this as elementary reaction. What is the order of this reaction? We have just one reacting species, so the molecularity is equal to 1. I repeat, what is molecularity of a reaction? The number of reacting species that collide simultaneously in a chemical reaction is known as molecularity of a reaction. Look at this example, 2HI giving you H2 plus I2. So the molecularity according to this balanced equation is 2. And here 2FeCl3 plus SnCl2. So as per this equation, 2 plus 1, 3. 3 reacting species are participating, and all these reacting species in this balanced equation are participating in simultaneous collision. Then we call this reaction as a elementary reaction, and the molecularity is 3. So in an elementary reaction, the molecularity is equal to the number of the reactants involved in the equation representing the reaction. But this is not true for the reactions in which a large number of reacting species are involved. We call such reactions as complex reactions. So for elementary reaction, the number of reacting species in this balanced equation gives you the molecularity. But this is not same for complex reactions. See, reactions involving a large number of reacting species are not elementary in nature. They are called complex reactions and they proceed in more than one step. So we are having large number of reacting species. Look at this example, 4HBr plus O2 giving you 2H2O plus 2Br2. So we have more number of reacting species and this reaction proceeds in many steps. So the different steps involved in this reaction are HBr plus O2 first gives you HOOBr. So for this reaction the molecularity is equal to 2. And in the second step HOOBr plus HBr gives you 2HBrO. So now the molecularity is 2 for this reaction. Next one, HBr plus HBrO gives you H2O plus Br2. So now the molecularity is 2 and to get this overall equation we are multiplying this by 2 so that we will, when you add up all these equations, you will get this overall reaction. So you have to remember, in a multi-step reaction only the steps have the molecularity and the reaction as such has no molecularity. So the complex reactions have no molecularity. So remember, reactions involving a large number of reacting species are not elementary in nature and they proceed in more than one step, and steps only have the molecularities. Overall reaction does not have molecularity. So we have seen about order and molecularity. Now let's finish this video by looking at the differences between the order and molecularity. As per the definition, sum of coefficients of the reacting species involved in the rate equation is order. What about molecularity? Number of molecularity, it is the number of reacting species involved in simultaneous collisions in an elementary reaction. Order can be determined experimentally, whereas molecularity is theoretical in nature. Order can be a whole number or fractional, whereas molecularity is always a whole number. Order can be 0. We have seen examples for 0 order reactions, but molecularity cannot be 0. Because when we say molecularity, we are talking about the number of reacting species that are undergoing collision. When there are no reacting species undergoing collisions, no reaction can take place. So molecularity cannot be 0. In a multi-step reaction, order is determined for the slowest step only, which is considered as the rate determining step. Whereas molecularity for a multi-step reaction, we don't have overall molecularity, only for the steps. Order is derived from the rate equation. When you sum up the coefficients of the reacting species in the rate equation, you can derive order. But molecularity is derived from the mechanism of the reaction, which means the various steps that are followed for the conversion of reactants into products. That is called as the mechanism, and the molecularity is derived from that mechanism of the reaction. So this is all about order and molecularity. Hope you understood the definition of that and also the differences between the order of a reaction and molecularity of a reaction. Thank you.